Hello everyone, my name is Elle and welcome to a Project Pan intro. This is a project I have been wanting to share with you guys for so long, but I held off because I wanted to wait until a very specific date. So this is going to be my Stevie Nicks Project Pan Musical Roulette. I know it's a long name. So a few months ago I did my Fleetwood Mac version and it was so much fun, and it's really quite simple despite sounding very strange. So first of all, in case you happen to wander here and you have no idea what a Project Pan is, it's a project where you work on specific makeup or beauty products in order to finish them or make progress on them, like hit pan. It might sound a little strange to people outside of the community. I'll have a few resources linked down below, but there's a lot of Project Pans around and it's just a lot of fun. And I like to do ones now and then that allows me to talk about my interests outside of makeup. And one of my big ones, to no surprise to anybody, is Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. That's why I have the records behind me. It's an instant way to explain who I am without actually having to explain who I am. So in order for this to be a musical roulette, it just means putting songs on shuffle and then picking products that correspond with the random songs. Sometimes people do Project Pan roulettes where they draw pieces of paper like out of a hat or a bag, something that would say like, use a blush, pan something from a specific makeup brand, or your least favorite product, or something like that. And in this case, I'm just using the songs to guide me. Clear as mud? Okay, so if this makes absolutely no sense to you, feel free to just check out my description box. I will have all the products listed there. Since this is just an intro, you can always follow along later with my updates, which will be more or less about the products themselves and not about all the extra stuff, but this is just something I am doing for fun. All right, so let's just get this started. This is going to be a Project 9 pan, meaning there are going to be 9 products in this project. And 9 probably seems like a pretty weird number, but that's because I'm choosing a product from each one of Stevie's studio albums, and there are 8 studio albums. The 9th product is something that I've already chosen. That's because I wanted to have something to represent the song If You Ever Did Believe. This is a song that was on the soundtrack to Practical Magic, and that's how I found Stevie to begin with, on this day, February 16th, 2004. It was a very important, significant date to me. I know this for a fact because I had a notebook that I had detailed all this stuff in. Now, I've recently lost that notebook. I mentioned that a couple of videos ago about how I lost this notebook. I don't know what happened to it. General consensus seems to be that it accidentally got caught up with stuff and ended up in the trash. And I'm pretty upset about it because it detailed like the 10th grade in high school for me, and it had all of my concert tickets in the front pouch of it. So I had all my Fleetwood Mac tickets and all the other concerts I'd been to. So I know it's just little mementos of things and moments that I lived, but it's still so important, and it's awful that I lost it. And I was hoping to show that journal here because I wanted to show that particular little entry from February 16th. So I've talked about this before, so I'll just give you the Cliff Notes version because this video is going to be long enough, and please bear with me if my voice goes in and out because I'm really not feeling great, but I wanted to get this video out for February 16th so badly because I've been waiting for so long. So anyway, long story short, I was looking for a song to pick to be the Friday song at my high school because there was a rumor going around that I was going to be chosen as the student of the week and get to pick the song that would play in place of the bell on Fridays. It was just a really big honor, and picking that song meant that the entire school would know something about you. So I was really struggling to find a song. I was on Yahoo Music at the time because remember, this was 2004, before YouTube, and I was watching music videos for Sheryl Crow because I was obsessed with Sheryl Crow at that point, and I came across a music video labeled If You Ever Did Believe, Sheryl Crow, from the soundtrack to Practical Magic, and I was like, how come I've never heard of this before? Clicked on the music video, and I don't see Sheryl Crow at first. I see this woman, this blonde-haired woman singing, and I'm like, what the heck is this? But she just captivated me from that moment, and I just watched that video over and over and over and over and over again, like just on a loop for hours. And then I left the computer not knowing who this woman singing was and went to watch a rerun of a VH1 special. It was VH1 Divas Live, and Ellen DeGeneres was hosting, I think, and Cher was performing, and the Dixie Chicks were performing, and I was really excited to watch this. And you know, again, keep in mind, this is a different time. It's not like I could just like download it or anything. I had the TV Guide listings. I knew this was a rerun, so I had to watch it at that time. So anyway, I'm watching this. They announced the Dixie Chicks are coming on to perform. I'm really excited. And they say Dixie Chicks and special guest Stevie Nicks. And I'm like, who? And on walks that woman that I had just spent the previous hours watching. And in this notebook, I wrote down her name so that I wouldn't forget it. And then the very next day, I went out and bought Stevie's first solo album, Belladonna. And the rest, as I say, is history. In my notebook, I remember writing at the end of that journal entry, I think I'm becoming a fan of hers. It's like the biggest understatement of my entire life. All right, so I know this is probably gonna sound so strange to so many of you because you're probably not going to get it, but just try and put it into context to things that you're really passionate about, something that you really love, whether it's Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who, whether there's some movie or TV show or book or celebrity or some sort of famous historical figure or even a sports team or something that you are so crazy passionate about that you have memorabilia everywhere. I think that it's really easy to look at somebody else's thing and go, that's weird because I don't get it, until you compare it to your own thing. I think pretty much everybody has their own thing. And you know, let those without fandoms cast the first stone is all I'm gonna say. So anyway, with that out of the way, my long rambly explanation, I picked a black eyeliner as my If You Ever Did Believe product, simply because at that point in my life, all I ever used was black eyeliner. And I used one very similar to this. This is a retractable eyeliner. Now this is from CoverGirl. It's all worn away. There's absolutely no text left on this whatsoever. I used to use one in high school from Physicians Formula. It just lived with me. I had it on me all the time because I was always re-scrawling my eyeliner back on my eyes. So I thought this would be a good product to have in this Project Pan. I'm not sure how much is in here. It's one of those ones that twists up, so I don't want to twist it all the way up and not be able to twist it back, because I twisted it a little bit and then I couldn't get it to go back down. So I do know there's quite a bit of product in here. So I have no particular deadline with this project either. I'm just going to work on products for as long as it feels good to do so. Anyway, this black eyeliner, that is my first product. All right, so I have 8 products to choose from 8 different albums. The first one is Belladonna, Stevie's first solo album from 1981. I'm gonna put this on shuffle. I can probably only play a couple of seconds just for safety. I don't want to get this video flagged. I don't want to get a copyright violation on my channel. I will have it all listed down below, the song as well as the product that I ended up choosing too. So I'll see if I can throw maybe some trivia at you guys. If you're Stevie fans, you probably know this, but if you're not, maybe you'll learn something cool. All right, so shuffle, Belladonna, let's do it. So the first song is How Still My Love. How Still My Love is a beautiful, beautiful song. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna go with the title for this one, and I'm just gonna go with a product that I really love, so I'm gonna find something. All right, so the product I settled on is from Tarte. This is one of the Amazonian clay pot liners. This is in Fairy Wings. It's a very pale purple shade, so I usually use these to cut out cut creases, and with all of the Tarte drama and such, I picked up a couple similar things from NYX. This is one of the NYX Vivid Bright creams. I picked up 2 purples actually. So as much as I love this one, I'm gonna try my best to pan this. It's gonna be tough because there's a lot of product in here, but I'm just gonna try and use as much as I possibly can because it is a product I really do love, but it's just, it's not sitting so well with me these days. All right, so that is Belladonna taken care of. So a little bit of trivia that you may or may not know. I'm sure most, if not all of you, are familiar with Destiny's Child. Yes, Beyonce's former band. And you probably, at some point, heard the song Bootylicious. Bootylicious sampled Edge of 17 from the Belladonna album. And Stevie is also in the Bootylicious music video. The more you know. All right, next album is from 1983. This is The Wild Heart. So let's put this on shuffle and see what we get. So, it takes so long. Stand Back. That's perfect, because I was actually going to give my little bit of trivia about Stand Back, because it was inspired by Prince's Little Red Corvette. And if you listen to them side by side, you can definitely hear the similarities, and Prince actually played on the song. Stevie tells this really cool story about how she contacted him and was like, hey, I'm writing this song and recording it that was inspired by you, and I just wanted to tell you, and he showed up and decided to play it. And they just had this magical, beautiful friendship over this song. So this one is proving to be a little bit trickier, because the immediate title, Stand Back, I'm sort of singing the song in my head and I'm like, in the middle of the room, I did not hear from you. I think I have something. I think I have something in mind. All right, so I'm totally reaching here, but I chose a red liquid liner partially for Little Red Corvette in honor, and also because there's some lyrics in there about standing in a line, and I just thought an eyeliner. An eyeliner. I'm terribly cheesy, I know. All right, so let's move on now to Rock a Little from 1985. Let's shuffle this one and see what happens. I'm trying to be surprised a little bit. I think we all know the song is called I Can't Wait. I can't wait. Maybe something I can't wait to pan. All right, so the product that I cannot wait to pan is this concealer from Juice Beauty. This is the Perfecting Concealer in the shade 02 Fair. It is so, so dry. I've tried everything to make it a little bit easier to blend out, and nothing has worked so far, so I keep trying things. I ordered this off of Ulta, which is why I didn't return it. Otherwise, I would have. It's just too much of a hassle to try and go through that whole return process. So I made a bad decision purchasing that product, and I can't wait to pan it because I really want to try something else that will hopefully work for me much better than that one does. And some Rock a Little trivia. There's a song on the album called Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You? And that's a song that Stevie wrote for Joe Walsh of the Eagles, who she has actually said is the greatest love of her life, which surprised a lot of people, myself included, because everybody knows of her romance with Lindsey Buckingham and Don Henley, also of the Eagles, and I would have thought she would have said one of them, and she said Joe Walsh, and I was like, what? Okay. But she talked about this moment with Joe when she was on tour with him. He took her on this drive in Colorado, and they were headed to a park, and Joe told this story about how he had lost a young daughter a few years back, and how his young daughter always loved to go to this park, and he loved taking her to this park. And the only thing she ever complained about was the fact that she couldn't reach the drinking fountain to take a drink. And when they got to the park, Stevie just collapsed into tears because she knew he had built a fountain, and he had a little fountain dedicated to her. And she wrote this song for him. All right, so we are 3 products in. We have 5 to go. Next, we are visiting The Other Side of the Mirror from 1989. Let's shuffle, see what we come up with here. The song is Two Kinds of Love. I really like this album. I don't know why. There's something about the vibe of this album that I can just listen to over and over and over again. So, Two Kinds of Love. All right, so I immediately thought of this Stila product. This is one of the Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows. This is in Smoldering Satin. I always want to say Smoldering Satan, and that would be a totally different product. Okay, so I love the way this looks. It's so beautiful and sparkly and glittery, but whenever I wear it, I get so much fallout. So I love it and I don't love it. It's definitely two kinds of love. So I think this will be a good product to work on. Now we go from 1989 to 1994 with Street Angel, and I actually really love the Street Angel album. Stevie herself doesn't even like it. A lot of Stevie fans don't like this album, but I really relate to this album, and I really relate to these songs a lot. So I'm excited to see which one gets chosen for me. We have okay, I have to stop playing it because It's called Maybe Love Will Change Your Mind, and I love this song. I remember listening to this so often. I just remember listening to the Street Angel album and dancing around and just enjoying and loving life. All right, so I've decided to go with this Bright Future color corrector from Sephora. This is in Pink Brightness, so this is for correcting like dark under eyes and spots of darkness. I really don't like this that much, or I don't think I do, so maybe showing this product some love will change my mind on it. I know I didn't give any trivia for the other side of the mirror, and with Street Angel I can think of a few things, but they're mostly just, I don't really want to dive into like Stevie's drug history and the Klonopin stuff. So she covered a Bob Dylan song on this album, Just Like a Woman, and she has a song called Jane, which is a song about Jane Goodall. So another interesting bit of information perhaps. So from Street Angel we go from 1994 to 2001 with Trouble in Shangri-La. All right, so Trouble in Shangri-La, let's see what we got here. Love Changes. I'm getting a lot of love songs, so this is working out pretty well. All right, so for Love Changes, I decided to go with the remains of my Kat Von D eyeshadow in Thunderstruck. I have gone back and forth with this eyeshadow so many times. I love it and I hate it and I love it, and it's all over the place. I'm back in a phase again where I love it. I've been using it as a face highlighter as well as a brow bone and inner corner highlighter, and I actually don't mind that it's completely crumbled up because I find that it actually works a little bit better that way. I can control pigment a little bit more and I can really get a lot in my inner corner. My inner corners tend to water, so if I don't put a lot of highlighter there, it will disappear within minutes. So I like having this powder. So love has definitely changed with this guy. All right, so the Trouble in Shangri-La album. There's a couple of cool things about this. Stevie wrote the song That Made Me Stronger about Tom Petty because she was really pushing him to write songs for her and he refused. You know, he said, no, you write your songs yourself. And so she sang about that in the song, and I think it really helped her. It's still hard to talk about Tom Petty stuff. On the song Bombay Sapphires, Macy Gray does backing vocals. Yes, Macy Gray, the Macy Gray you were thinking of. The last song on the album is called Love Is, and Sarah McLachlan plays on that, and I think she does backing vocals as well. And on the Trouble in Shangri-La album cover, Stevie's name, like the beginning, the first letter S, is a dragon, and that was actually something drawn by Sarah McLachlan. So that's pretty cool. You guys all know Sarah McLachlan. Don't try and pretend like you don't. So from Trouble in Shangri-La, there was a long time before an album. Now, I became a Stevie fan in 2004, so the last album would have been Trouble in Shangri-La for me. That was going to be the most recent thing that I came across until In Your Dreams in 2011. Yes, 10 years later. Oh my goodness. I remember when this album came out, how excited I was. I went to the record store on the day it came out to buy this album. So I was crazy excited. There's a version of Annabelle Lee on here where Stevie took the words from the Annabelle Lee poem from Edgar Allan Poe, so that's really interesting. She wrote Moonlight, A Vampire's Dream about Twilight, which I side-eye a little bit, but I get it. I guess. Still side-eye it. All right, so let's see what song I get from In Your Dreams. Let's shuffle. Secret Love, the first song. Okay, so again, another love thing. This is kind of funny. All right, so for Secret Love, I'm going to go with this Clarins waterproof eyeshadow shimmering cream color in Golden Peach. So I rediscovered this a few months back when I was doing my Panner's Advent calendar, and I really like this as a base. It's just this beautiful, well, golden peach color, so I feel like I can use this as a base with some of the golden shades that are in the Mario palette. So trying to plan things here so that all my projects will go together. All right, so that leaves us with one more studio album. That is from 2014. That is 24 Karat Gold, Songs from the Vault. So these are all demo songs. I love that Stevie got the idea for this album from YouTube videos. So many people have posted demos of her songs and there are so many views and people love them. And she's like, why don't I just record a whole bunch of them, put it out as an album? And it's so good. This is definitely a fan album. It's pretty intense. If you are new to Stevie music and you want to explore her catalog a little bit, I'd recommend going with something like Crystal Visions, like the very best of Stevie Nicks first, to kind of dip your toes in. I think this album might be a little bit too intense for the casual listener. So let's shuffle and see what we get. Excuse me. She loves him still. Seriously, every song is about love, but that actually makes my job pretty easy. All right, so I'm gonna go with a little bit of a gimme product here. This is the Anastasia Dip Brow in Ash Brown. It's almost gone. I probably only have enough usage for another month or so, but that is perfect. This is something that I really love and I love still, and I will be repurchasing this one once it's gone. All right, so that is everything for my Stevie Nicks Project Pan Musical Roulette intro. Are you still with me? If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching and indulging me in my fandom ways. The updates will be a little less hectic and crazy and more about the products themselves instead of about Stevie and her albums, but this was a lot of fun for me. I just love talking about Stevie and I love talking about Fleetwood Mac and it makes me happy. So I feel very good and I feel very relaxed, and this was very therapeutic for me to do. So anyway, thank you once again for indulging me on this. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. If you want to know anything else, if you're curious, if you want to know where to start, maybe if you feel like listening to some Stevie or Fleetwood Mac music, I'm your girl. So, all right, thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.